I've actually been wanting to do this for months, but I have just lacked the motivation. But today I'm finally gonna do it. I'm gonna do a huge unhaul, probably the biggest unhaul I have ever done, because I feel like over the past few months, my attitude towards keeping books and displaying books has really changed. I feel like at one point I kind of wanted a trophy of every single book that I'd read, whereas now I don't feel like that. I have limited space in this house. I just want to keep the books that I absolutely loved, or maybe they're books by my favourite author. There's just got to be a reason that I want to keep the book, especially if I'm not going to reread it. There has to be a really good reason. I'm going to be putting all of these books on Vinted. So I'll link my Vinted below, and I will set the books to go live at the same time as this video. So if you want to check them out and you want to buy any of them, you can. It's my first time ever selling on Vinted, but I have bought a few books now from Vinted, so hopefully it will all go smoothly. Okay, where to start? I think I'm going to start by going through this little pile that I have on the floor, which are books that I have pulled over the past few months that I just know for sure I'm getting rid of, and then we're going to go through my shelves, my TBR cart, because there are 100% going to be quite a few more that are going to be coming off here. I just haven't taken them off the shelves yet. So let's get through this pile first, and then we get into the fun stuff of actually going through each of my books on my shelves and deciding if I want to keep them or not. Okay, first book that I will be unhauling is Alone With You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. This is actually the only Olivia Blake book that I have read. I just thought that this one sounded the most up my street, but I actually really did not like it. It's a fiction book, but I just really hated the characters. I didn't really love the writing style. I don't know. I just didn't like it. So this will be unhauled, but I know so many people love her books and her writing. So if that's you and you want this one, there you go. What I do feel a little bit sad about, because I actually love the cover to this, but I just didn't love the book. It didn't bring me joy, so why am I keeping it? This is Talking at Night by Claire Daverley. This, I think, is often compared to Normal People. I love Normal People, but personally this one just was not for me. It's another fiction book, but very much focusing a romantic relationship over the span of numerous years. So similar to Normal People in that way, but I don't know, I just didn't find myself connecting to it in the same way as I did Normal People. So Talking at Night, another unhaul. Okay, a few books in series that I have. So these are the first two books in the Arrowwood Brothers series. So we have Fight For Me and Come Back For Me. I don't know which one is book one and which one is book two actually, but they are book one and two in the series, and these are indie copies. I don't think these books have been traditionally published, so these are the indie copies. I originally bought these before I read them because, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I just really fancied this guy. I just thought I want the physical copy so I can look at him because he's gorgeous. But I have now read the books and I did like them, but I didn't love them. I think one of them I much preferred to the other one, and I can't remember which. I definitely preferred the second one, I think. And I don't know which one. I think that might be this one actually. I think I much preferred this one, and unfortunately I didn't really love this one. And I just think there's no reason for me to keep on to these. I don't think I'm gonna finish the series, but if you like a small town indie romance series about brothers and their romances, then maybe you'll like this. So these will be going up on my Vinted. Okay, next I have the first two books in the Eden series by Daphne Perry, Indigo Ridge and Juniper Hill. I absolutely loved Indigo Ridge, but I didn't really like Juniper Hill, which I think is opposite. I think a lot of people think this one's okay and really like this one. I just loved the mystery element that we had in this one. But this is another indie small town romance series, again following brothers or a family. Anyway, these two are brothers, I think. As I said, I liked Indigo Ridge, I didn't like Juniper Hill, and then I had no desire to really continue and read the rest of the series, so I just don't see the point in holding on to these two copies. So I'm going to be letting them go to somebody who maybe wants to collect the whole series. Again, these are indie copies. These next ones I feel weirdly sad over. I don't know whether I should do it, but they just don't really have space on my shelves. Like, there's nowhere that I want to put them, but at the same time I feel really sad getting rid of them. If you don't see these on my Vinted, it's because I've decided against getting rid of them. But these are 3 Colleen Hoover books. These are the only ones that I still own. No, that's not true. I actually own Verity, which is downstairs. That's my favourite Colleen Hoover book. I love it and I can't wait for the film to come out. But these 3 here are my other favourites. I got rid of a lot of her books over the last couple of years, and these were the ones that I still had. However, I'm just realistically not going to reread them. I just don't really know why I would keep them. So we have Hopeless. This is actually a YA romance, and I feel like this is really underrated. Like, this is one of Colleen Hoover's best books. So if you are a Colleen Hoover fan and you haven't read this, I really recommend. It ends with us, everyone and their mum has read this book, so I'm not going to comment on that one. And then Reminders of Him. I actually loved this. I remember it coming out. I think like it was maybe when I first was on Bookstagram was when this book came out, and I remember everyone was reading it, and it came out, I read it on my Kindle, and I just binged it in one night. Like, I absolutely loved it. And then I bought the physical copy, but this I think is like a weird version of the physical copy, because when I've seen it in bookshops it's shiny and a normal size, if you can see, but this one is kind of almost printed like an indie version. But it's Colleen Hoover and she was very popular, so I don't really think it is indie, but I don't know why it looks like this. It's matte, it's a little bit bigger, it's nice and floppy. Yeah, I just don't think there's any point in me keeping it. So that is another one going. Okay, last few in this pile. Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy. I read this one on holiday, so unfortunately I feel like this is not in prime condition. I'll probably list it really cheap, because as I said, I did take it on holiday and read it on holiday. But yeah, I just really unfortunately did not like this one. It sounded really fun. It's kind of like a love triangle. A girl moves to London for her, not a gap year, but like year abroad, I think, at university. It was just disappointing to me, and I didn't like the romance at all, which means I didn't like either side of the love triangle. So I just didn't love it. So that is going. This one makes me sad because I love Ali Hazelwood and I have never unhauled one of her books, and I don't think there are any other books of hers that I would unhaul, but this one I just really did not like at all, to be honest, and I'm gonna unhaul it. Nothing else to say. And then finally, this one makes me really sad, but I just don't know why I'm keeping this copy. House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J Maas. This is the old cover, so you can't get these covers in the paperbacks anymore, but I love this cover. Like, it actually makes me feel really sad to get rid of because I love it. It's got like gold foiling on the front. I just think these covers are so much nicer than the new paperbacks that we have in the UK. But anyway, that's for another day. I have this whole series in hardback, and I just don't see the point in holding on to this. This is actually the copy that I read, and I really liked this book, although the whole series isn't my favourite. I've actually still not even read the third book, but the second book was not my favourite. It makes me sad to get rid of this because I am a Sarah J Maas fan, but I just don't know why I have it, really. I just don't need it anymore. Okay, that was that pile. Now, do we start on the shelves or do we start on the TBR cart? I'm going to start on the shelves because that just seems a bit easier and less daunting than this TBR cart. Really sorry about this weird angle. My tripod does just not go that high, so you're kind of just stuck looking up at me for now, but I'll try to be quick up here. This top shelf is all romance. In fact, the first few shelves, the first two shelves are all romance. What have we got here? The Lucy Score Knock 'Em Out series. I really loved the first book and the third book. I just don't think I want to get rid of them. And also the first book I have is the indie version. I'm not going to get it out, but that is the indie version, and I just don't want to get rid of it. Then we have Lauren Ash's series I have. If I'm going to be honest, I did love this series here. I can't remember what it's called. The like Disney vibes one? Okay, yeah, this series is the Dreamland Billionaire series, and I just didn't love this series, to be honest. So I just don't really see the point in keeping them. I mean, I didn't like the first book. Okay, I didn't like the first book. The second book I liked a bit more, and the third book I think was my favourite. But I just don't love them enough to really need to keep them. They don't need a space on my shelves. Also, it annoys me that the spines don't match. Like, the third book has a different spine, and that just annoys me. Like, it doesn't look good. So she may as well go. This is hard, you know, because I have the first two books in the Rose Hill series, but I do not have the other two books that have come out since, because I read the third one on my Kindle, which I really did not like, and then the fourth one I haven't read yet, so I don't own them physically. And Wild Love was okay. I didn't love it, but it was alright. Wild Eyes I absolutely loved. I gave this 5 stars. So I don't want to get rid of Wild Eyes. And I also do kind of want to collect the full set because they have like a pretty picture here, and I don't have any other Elsie Silver books. So I don't really want to get rid of them. I think I'm going to keep them, and maybe I'll try and find the others on Vinted maybe, and then I can have a full set. This Amy Lee series, look how faded that spine has gone. I think you can see on the back, like that's how much this book has faded. I know a lot of books fade in the sunlight, but this one is just a bit extreme and it looks a bit naff. However, I still have the third book in this series that I need to read, and I don't really want to get rid of the series until I've finished the series. So I think these two are going to stay on there for now. The When in Rome series, I love When in Rome, didn't really like these two, but again, I'm going to keep it until the series is finished. It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line and Sinker. I just really like these covers, and these books are a bit nostalgic for me, so they're a keep. Love Better Than the Movies. Okay, now we come to the rest of my Elle Kennedy section. I just don't know what I want to do. I have read all 4 books that are out in the Campus Diaries series. Is there 4 books out, or is there just 3? Maybe there's just 3 actually. There's definitely the Charlie Method, I think that's the only other one. This one I quite liked, this one I did not like at all, and the Charlie Method was kind of like a bit better than this one, not as good as this one. I just don't know why I would keep them. I just don't have a desire to really own these books physically. They're not favourites. I'm gonna get rid of them. I think I might be unhauling The Deal and The Score. These are the only off-campus books that I own, because these were my 2 favourites, and I absolutely do love The Deal. Like, I have reread this as well and I enjoyed it on my reread. However, recently, if you have seen my most recent reading vlog, I read this and it was just not great. Second time around, it was okay. It was like fruited as like mid. These are not really aligned to my reading tastes anymore. So I'm just kind of keeping them out of nostalgia, but why? And I'm not gonna lie, like I don't really love having these covers on my shelves. Also, there are new covers of these books which don't have people on the cover. So if I did want to go back and get them, which I just don't see why I would, I could get those. I'm pretty sure they do box sets of works, so I could get them for quite cheap. Now I also have The Risk, which is my favourite Briar View book, but this one is in like the old indie version where it's like a paperback. No, not a paperback, where it's like a textbook. And I actually really enjoyed reading it like this. However, it just doesn't match. It doesn't match anything. And it's just always impossible to put it anywhere. I'm never happy with the way it looks, so I should get rid of it. And I did have another Briar View one that I haven't read, but I think I might have already unhauled that, which I didn't think I did, but I just can't see it anywhere. I don't know, maybe we'll come across it later in this video. But if not, yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. But I did really enjoy this one as well. Then we have Ali Hazelwood. I'm keeping those. Abby Jimenez, you can now move over there. And then up here we have my Magnolia Parks shelf, which obviously I'm keeping all of those. Oh, we have The Conditions of Will here. I pre-ordered this when it came out, but I actually read it on my Kindle because it was on Kindle Unlimited before I got the physical copy, and I didn't like it. So now I have this physical copy, and that kind of makes me sad, but at the same time I really like the cover. So do I want to get rid of it? It's annoying that it's a hardback as well, but then like it wouldn't look as good if it was a paperback. It just doesn't really fit anywhere. Like at the moment I just kind of have to slot it here. What do you think? Do we keep it? Does it look stupid? Should I just get rid of it? I think for now I'm going to keep it because I feel like, let's see how many other books I cull, and then maybe I will think about getting rid of it if it's not that many. The favourites, obviously I'm keeping. I feel like this has a lot of books that I could get rid of. Okay, not Nora Goes Off Script. Can You Keep a Secret is so nostalgic to me, but I would just never read it now. Is there even any point putting that on Vinted? Like, would anyone even buy that? I guess it could be unhauled. I wouldn't be upset if it's unhauled. I mean, actually, it probably needs to go to a charity shop because I feel like it's a little bit battered. Again, I read this one on holiday when I was like 16. I think she needs to go. This is a duology, I think, and I haven't got or read the second one. I did quite like this one, but I don't need to keep it. Yeah, I think I can get rid of that. I think I need to keep The Hating Game. Get rid of that. Wow, okay. I think we're getting rid of quite a few from that stack. So as I said, Can You Keep a Secret? I'm gonna put it in the unhaul pile. It might go to a charity shop rather than on Vinted because it's a bit battered, but that's fine. Cross the Line by Simone Soltani. I am sad to get rid of this because it's an F1 romance and I love F1. However, I did not like this book. Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. a Christmas book that I will never read again, and I didn't even really like it, so that can go. The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. I think this one was alright, but nothing special. I don't need it. This is going to be Unpopular, The 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I just really didn't like this. I think this is my only Ashley Poston book I've read, and I feel like people love this book, and I just was bored. It just wasn't for me. So hopefully that can go to a good new home. And then also The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams, another one that I just did not really like. Right, then we have my other Annabelle Morgan, Catherine Centre. I really need to buy some more Catherine Centre books because I loved The Bodyguard, so I'd like to read some more. Carly Fortune. I didn't love One Gone Summer, but I feel like I should keep it. It should stay with my other Carly Fortune books. I don't know what order I should have them in, really. Okay, Lynn Painter. I love these two. Jessica Joyce, I really loved You With You, absolutely loved it. The X-Files I did not love, but is it nice to kind of just keep them together? They look kind of nice together, don't they? So I think I'll keep. And then The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. This was a fun book, I'll keep that. Not a favourite, but I like it. Normal People by Sally Rooney. That's an obvious keep. By the way, this is not how the bookshelf's going to stay looking. I'm just kind of doing this for ease. In fact, let's not, because I do quite like having this stack. Fractaled by Lauren Asher. It's a bit random because this is the only one in the series that I have. Ooh. And it is the indie published version as well, but I love this book because I kind of read this at the same time as discovering the world of F1 and Charles Leclerc, and I just imagined Charles Leclerc when reading this book, and I loved it. So that's staying. The Confidence of Wildflowers. I did like that one, but it's a duet and I don't have the other book, so what's the point in keeping this one? I'm never going to reread it because it is really sad. I think I'm going to get rid. So that's another one. Love and Other Words. Not my favourite book, but I did like it, and this I got in New York, so I'm going to keep it. Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. If I was going to be completely brutal, I would get rid of that one because I don't have a desire to read it again, but I do quite like the cover, and that's the same with The Simple Wild. I actually did not like that book at all, really, but I really love the cover. So I think I'm going to keep it for now. From Rico with Love, if you've been with me. Okay, Icebreaker. I think I might get rid of this. This is actually the indie version of Icebreaker, and it's actually signed by Hannah Grace. It also came with a bookmark, so I think I'm going to sell this. I'm going to put this up on Vinted because I just didn't love it, but yeah, it does have a little bit of dirt. It's basically just sat on numerous bookshelves for too long, so yeah, that one can go. Okay, I really suck at filming this stuff. This next shelf is all Boys of Torment, so obviously we are not getting rid of any of those. Okay, and now we are coming down to fantasy. Wing, I'll keep those. Crimson Moth, I'll keep. Silvery, I'll keep. Nether, I'll keep. I actually like her to say like that. Sarah J Maas, keeping. Okay, let's go down the shelf. Here I have Once Upon a Broken Heart, Emily Wilde, Dawn of Onyx, Divine Rose. I didn't love Ruthless Vows, but I'm gonna keep it. I think I'm actually gonna unhaul my Kingdom of the Wicked books because I did really like the series. Sorry, that was a bit of a weird angle. I did like this series, but they don't all match. If they all matched, I would probably keep them, but I have 2 paperbacks and a hardback because I got the 3rd book when it came out. I don't know why I didn't just read it on Kindle. Anyway, they don't all match. It annoys me all of the time. I never know where to put this series, so I'm gonna get rid of them because I'm never gonna reread them, realistically. So yeah, that series will be unhauled. Stasia Stark, obviously staying. This is one of my favourite series of all time, and I wish more people would read it. This is where we're gonna get juicy. Okay, that's my TBR for there, so excuse the mess. Look at all of these beautiful sprayed edges, but I think I need to get rid of some because a lot of these books are not my favourites. Let me actually see what we've got. Diebound. I pre-ordered this. It's the Waterstones exclusive edition. It has these gorgeous sprayed edges. It has a nice hardback. It has a reversible, oh, look at that, that's so cute, dust jacket with the wolf. However, I did not like this book. But I think I maybe, like, has it changed since it's been traditionally published? Because I read it on KU and I just thought it was really bad, but everybody seems to love it, so I'm thinking people must have read a different version of the book than I did. Like, that is the only explanation, because it boggles my mind, because this book is so popular. I must have read something else. I must have. So part of me wants to keep it because it's so beautiful, but this could go to a really loving home. So I think I'm going to put it up, but if nobody buys it, which they probably will, but if nobody buys it, then, you know, it's always got a good home on my shelves, because it is beautiful. But why would I want a book that I did not like? Why is this so dusty? I'm gonna have to dust. Oh, it's because this is like, it's actually not super dusty, but it's like a bit of a matte, weird cover that like kind of looks dusty all the time. Beautiful sprayed edges, The Tempest of Tea. However, I just did not like this book either. This is a Fairy Loot special edition. This has character artwork. It's actually not a reversible dust jacket, but I think it is a different dust jacket to the normal version, and it does have a really nice foiled hardback, as well as, is it signed? Okay, it's got like a printed letter and signature thing on it as well. So yeah, it's a Fairy Loot edition. It's really nice. If you liked this book, or if you're interested in reading it, then I think that that would be a good find for somebody. So I'm going to put it on my Vinted because it deserves to be loved more than it is getting here. Then we have Temptation of Magic. I did really like this one when I read it. However, it's just been such a long wait for book 2 that it's kind of annoying. I think I'm going to keep this one because I did really like this book. And If I Have to Be Haunted, I liked that one as well, so I'll keep it. Like, I do want to keep some of my special editions because I don't have many of them and they do look nice. So I don't want to get rid of everything. To be honest, that's left me with like 2. But I definitely have more I have not yet read, but I think we're gonna have to get rid of some of those. Okay, let's speed up the shelves. Zodiac Academy, I have the first 6 books. It's annoying I don't have all of them, but I'm never gonna buy all of them, and I don't really want to get rid of them either, so they're just gonna stay. They're gonna stay. The Play to Prison series I'm gonna keep for now, and I'm still gonna try and finish the series. It's been a long time. We will just see. Okay, here. So I have 2 copies of Finale, so I can obviously get rid of one of them. I'm just trying to work out which version I read. Okay, this one looks like it's in better nick, so I think we'll obviously give the better version to Vinted. So I'm going to get rid of this just because I have 2 copies of it. And I'm also thinking of getting rid of my paperback of Once Upon a Broken Heart, which is sad because this is a special edition. I think it's a Waterstones exclusive edition. It's actually a little bit, I don't know if you can see on camera, that like first page is nearly coming out, but it's basically a different colour than normal, and it has these like flaps. I have them all in hardback here, so it doesn't like have anywhere nice to sit, and I just don't know what's the point in keeping it. So I'm just going to get rid of this, unfortunately. I'm going to get rid of Assistant to the Villain and Apprentice to the Villain because, well, I just don't love this series and I'm not going to continue it anymore. So I'm going to get rid of those. Nothing else to get rid of there. God, my bookshelves are looking ransacked. Last shelves, these bottom ones, and then we can move on to the TBR cart. At least I've got lots of space to grow. That's nice. Oh, I haven't done those. Okay, we have a few more shelves to do and then onto TBR. Oh, this bottom shelf is dusty. Heavenly Bodies and When the Moon Hatched. I think I need to get rid of both of these because I just didn't like them, guys. Either of them, unfortunately. These are both just normal editions, I think. And again, I know these are popular books, so I'm sure some people will enjoy them, but not me. I also think I might get rid of these because, again, I just was not the biggest fan. I really liked the first book, I think, and then, well, I've not really liked it. I think I quite liked the first book, and I really did not like the second book. Again, these are the indie versions of this series, so I will put these on Vinted. This feels ruthless. I'm going to be left with no books. Do I get rid of this? This is my indie version of Fear the Flames. It has now been traditionally published and it's a bit different, so I don't know whether anyone would want this, but I'm not realistically going to read the traditionally published version, I think I've decided, and I'm not going to continue with the series, so I think I'm going to get rid of that. Shatter Me, You're Staying, Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves I think you'll stay for now because I really liked Dance of Thieves even though Vow of Thieves was disappointing. This K. Tucker series I still hope to finish. Okay, and then we have Powerless. I don't know if there's any point in getting rid of this because I feel like everybody's read it or has it, but I'm gonna get rid of it anyway because I just did not like it at all. And The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Miranda. I'm gonna get rid of this. Again, this is another indie version, but I just didn't like it. Now we need to go to my TBR, but now all of these books are in the way. Okay, last few bits. So I have some Emily Henry books I just don't know what to do with. I have the normal UK version of Happy Place. Actually, it does have sprayed edges, but did I like it? I quite liked it, but I didn't love it. And then I have these 3 copies of the US editions of Emily Henry books I bought when I was in New York. However, when I was traveling home in my suitcase, they basically got damaged. So I just don't think I should put them on Vinted. Like, nobody wants damaged books. I might just keep them and then hope that somebody that I know wants to take them and read them and they can just maybe keep them. Because yeah, I don't think I should put these on Vinted. But if you would be interested in buying these off Vinted for obviously a very low price because they're damaged, let me know and I'll put them on there for you. Okay, and then lastly, the Inheritance Games series. I really enjoyed this series, but there's just no need for me to keep it. There's no need for me to have the physical copies of this series, and I don't even really like the UK covers. They're a bit kind of creepy. So yeah, I'm going to unhaul those as well. Okay, and then we can finally get onto the TBR and be done. I think maybe I need to not be so ruthless with my TBR as I have been with my red books because I literally hardly have any books left. I think this was my last monthly TBR, so we may as well start here because that's why I was at the bottom of this shelf, but obviously I didn't read any of these books because I was in a slump. Gold, as I spoke about that series, keeping it for now. Clockwork Prince, keep. The Catch, keep. Okay, none of that monthly TBR I'm getting rid of, basically, because those are the 2 books there as well I want to keep, so let me just pop them, just slot them there for now, and then hopefully I might get rid of my TBR cut from getting rid of some other book. Let's start at the top. Ah, here it is. I was talking about the other Braille book that I had, The Play. I'll unhaul that one as well. Okay, You Deserve Each Other. I'm gonna keep it. I feel like it's supposed to be really good. Fix It Up by Tessa Bailey. I've had this for such a long time. Do I want to keep it? I'm gonna keep it for now. Obviously I'm keeping Jane Eyre, keep Abby Jimenez and Christina Hannah. The only one I'm doubting is Ninth House because I just seem to never get around to reading this and I just feel like maybe it's not gonna be for me. I'm just not a dark academia person, I don't think. But what if I want to be, or what if I am one day? I knew I was going to struggle getting the TBR books. Shield of Sparrows there, I'm going to keep that as well. Okay. Let's be ruthless. I think I have another Fairy Loot book that I'm going to get rid of. Threads That Bind by Kika Atsapolo. This is a YA fantasy romance and I think this might be my first ever Fairy Loot book that I got. However, I just have never had a desire to pick it up since I got it. So why am I keeping it? It's a Fairy Loot edition, so it has all of the normal bells and whistles, the reversible dust jacket, the naked hardback. I assume that this cover is maybe slightly different to the normal cover. And then it also has some character artwork, the sprayed edges, and then some other stuff as well that it came with. I really should have kept my Fairy Loot bag so that if I put them on Vinted I could ship them in those bags, but I think bubble wrap will have to do. I just haven't had a desire to read it. There's some more character artwork there as well. So this one just needs to get off my TBR at this point, and it seems like I'm not going to read it, so it's going to go on Vinted. What are the Riverdoes? This is another one that I just never feel compelled to pick up, but I know everybody says that this is amazing. So I think I need to keep this and I need to read it. I love these pink sprayed edges as well. If I could just read it, I was going to say it would look good here, but actually it kind of doesn't. Okay, another one that I think I'm going to get rid of is A Fragile Enchantment by Alison Saft. If I'm going to be honest, the guy on the front cover kind of gives me the ick. In fact, he gave me more of the... this is the reverse jacket, I remember, because the actual front cover, I couldn't deal with him. I just hated that front cover. So I changed it, but maybe I should, for the purpose of putting it on Vinted, put it back the right way. I might do that. What I will say though is it has an absolutely stunning hardback design. So if nobody wants to buy this and I still don't want to read it, I think I might just like display it like this if nobody wants it. But if somebody does want it because they actually, you know, like the book or want to read the book, then that's great. I would rather it goes to a loving home. So I'm just trying to put the dust jacket back on. I'm literally just a girl. I don't know what I'm doing. Why is this so hard? The dust jacket might not be in the best state, but honestly, if anybody buys this, they should just show the hardback anyway. I do want to read that. A Fate Inked in Blood. I think I still want to read that. The Coven, I've actually heard terrible things about this, but it's so short and I don't know. I think I'm going to keep it. I've not had it that long, so I'm just going to keep it. If it's terrible, it's terrible. Belladonna, Thrones Have Fallen. Okay, yeah. I think I need to get rid of A Touch of Darkness. I've had this for maybe about 4 years at this point and I just have never wanted to pick it up, so it's going. Anything else to get rid of? No, I think I'm going to keep all of those. So let me just readjust. Okay, that is all of the books I'm going to unhaul. So I think what I'm going to do is count them and let you know how many there are, and then I guess I'm going to need to start taking pictures of them to put them up, and then I think I will do a kind of bookish video, maybe a reset video, because it's been a while where we reorganise my bookshelves and maybe also do like my series tracker, Notion, things like that as well. But let me just count these and let you know how many we have. I reckon it's not as many as I think. Oh, I just broke a nail. Okay, I've just counted them all and there are 52 books that I am unhauling here, which, okay, that is more than I thought I would be getting rid of, I'm not gonna lie. But there we go. So as I said, I will link my Vinted down below. Go and check that out if you want to purchase any of these books. And thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please don't forget to leave a comment, like and subscribe. I would love to see you in my next video. Bye!